and 10 new spinning bikes with a new road machine. We now have YMCA 360, which lets members take exercise classes online, either recorded or live. Start 2022 off right. And we'd like to welcome you to our program here. I'm Chad Hall of BTW21 Sports. I know a lot of you have been tuning in with our Facebook Live and all the basketball that's been taking place here as of lately. And now we're rolling into some wrestling highlights from PHCC, Patrick and Henry Community College. I guess I better get that right. And also we're going to be seeing some softball and some other activities coming up. But today we got a special guest in studio as we start our sports show off here this week, and this guy has had an excellent career up to now, and we're watching him move forward into his career. And a lot of you are going to know this young man, and we're going to give him the opportunity to introduce himself. But everybody, welcome Devontae Jordan to our program. Devontae, good to have you, man.
Thanks for having me.
Man, tell me a little bit about. I got these stats and stuff. It's kind of amazing. So far the career. And by the way, happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
Just turned 25?
Yes, sir.
So, time's going a little faster now, right?
Yeah, a little fast.
A little fast. Now, with college and work and studies and ball.
Yes, sir.
Did life catch up with you when you got out of high school?
I was one of those kids that kind of had to grow up pretty fast.
Right.
My mom worked, school all the time, so I had to raise me and my brother. So, I always kind of mature for my age. So, life didn't really catch up. It was always fast for me.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Oh, he said kind of mature. So you're still working on that, huh?
Oh, yeah, of course. Everyone has a childish moment.
Still a young man.
Yes,
I get that.
Yes,
I get that. I really do. You say you got brothers and sisters?
Brothers. So 3 brothers. They all attended Bassett High School. Dominique Gill, Demetrius Gill, and then Tahim Klein.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So you the oldest?
Yes, sir.
So, man, you have left a pretty good roadmap for these guys to look at how to be successful through high school. How does that make you feel as an older brother?
It definitely makes me feel good because my 2 brothers, my middle 2 brothers, I spent more time with those guys, and they kind of look at me more of a father figure than a brother.
Okay.
So it's definitely a surreal feeling. And then I also have a 1-year-old son also.
Oh, nice.
So I'm definitely
Congratulations.
Thank you. So I'm definitely trying to build a foundation for him.
Now tell me, again, you're saying you had to grow up a little fast. You got younger brothers under you. You're in Bassett. I'm a graduate of Bassett too, 89. So I'm a Bassett fan. Always will be. We support them all, of course, but we got to be a little partial when we come from Bassett, right?
Right.
I mean, it's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. Kind of tell me with having to grow up a little faster, and you said kind of a father figure to your younger brothers. What kind of pressure do you feel like that put on you to succeed or to be something that your younger brother will say, man, I gotta be like him?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of pressure just because, every mistake that I made, they was there to see it.
Right. So
I kind of try to lead by example, and my mom, she's the, you don't be in line, I'm gonna tap you on the butt type of parent. So she definitely instilled that into us, to make sure we lead by example. And definitely for our sports, you always got to lead by example because eyes are always on you.
Sure.
So I've always just had that same type of mentality growing up.
And I agree 100%. You've probably been to many games where you got recruits and scouts. Tell me kind of your thoughts when did you just have a passion to play ball, or at what point did you say, man, I'm really good at this, or I just really like this?
Honestly, I never had any interest in any sports.
No way.
And then I moved from...
None at all?
At all.
None at all?
None at all. But I've always been, athletically gifted.
Sure.
And then I moved here in 8th grade from Franklin County.
Okay.
And
Which is a great school, too.
Yeah.
The Eagles.
And then Coach Andre Harrison, which was the head coach for FC in 8th grade, and it wasn't even a choice. He was like, "You're playing football."
He didn't give you an option.
At all. And which Coach Andre, he's my cousin also.
Oh, well, you.
Yeah, I had no choice.
No choice at all.
At all.
You were playing ball.
Oh yeah, had to. And then and it was just natural. First game broke like 5 school records at Patrick County, and just started from there.
The first game.
Very first game.
Wow. Now, what records did you break? Obviously, yardage run per game, probably.
Yeah, it was yardage, and then it was like I think I had like 2 punt returns, a kick return, a passing touchdown, and a rushing touchdown.
Wow. That's in one game.
One game. It was my very first game.
And that was
ever.
your first high school ball.
This was middle school, 8th grade.
Middle school?
Yes, sir.
You hadn't even made it to high school?
Never. Not yet.
So did the coach, I don't even, was it Gilbert?
Yeah,
did
Gilbert
he immediately call you up?
No. Then like later on in the season, I started going to the high school and doing workouts.
Right.
And I talked to Coach Gilbert, and he seen me doing the workouts and us running outside, and it was like, "You're going to be on varsity." And I was like a $130, maybe 5'7" at the time. So definitely threw me into the fire.
So you got moved to varsity?
Yes, sir.
I mean, did you start at varsity at that level?
Yeah, I started at running back, but I knew I was undersized.
Right.
So I was like, "Coach, I want to go down to JV." Then I went down to JV for the remainder of that season. And after the JV season was over, then I moved back to varsity. So
was you able to put on a little size? I mean, what are you now, about 180, 175?
Right now I'm like sitting at 198.
I was close. You lean, I can tell you're lean. So, buck 85, buck 90, all muscle.
Yes, sir.
That's nice. I used to know a guy that was that way years ago. Well, when you turn 50, some of that just goes away, son. It just goes away. There's nothing you can do about it. So you get moved up to varsity, and what kind of experience was that? Again, obviously you're smart enough to realize that, man, I'm a littler guy in this world, in this arena. Mm-hmm. But did that motivate you to get better, or kind of your thoughts? Because, I mean, varsity, they got some varsity players now, 200, 250. You know, I mean, you got Stokes and some of these guys, that they could lay a lick on a guy 135, 40 pounds.
Yeah. Honestly, I still didn't have any interest in playing, honestly. And then once I got to varsity, I played with some great guys like Daniel Martin, Trey Ross, Tay Ross, Eddie Bowman. I was actually behind Eddie Bowman at running back in high school. He was like 6'2", 230. He was massive. So
good guy to hide behind.
Yeah. And then and I played with a lot of my cousins, so they kind of all made me get better. Like every day they punched me in the gut or something like that. Just to make me get tough, and it definitely helped out a lot. And then my sophomore year is when I really started to succeed on the field and making big plays.
Right. And again, all of this while still helping mom with the family.
Yes, sir.
Still obviously keeping the grade. How important is that? How hard is that to keep, a lot of folks don't realize grades are very important, especially when you're looking to go to college and then, of course, moving into the professional arena.
Sir. Yeah, it was pretty tough, maintaining grades and stuff because after my sophomore year, my name started to get out there a little bit, and the fame kind of got to me a little bit. So
it happens.
Yeah.
It happens.
So I kind of felt like one of those athletes, like I'm a good athlete. I don't have to do anything in class. But fortunately, I maintained my good grades without even trying.
That's awesome.
And that's how. And you definitely have to keep good grades to get into Emory and Henry.
Right.
So.
Well, something. Devontae, if you could just maybe let's go back to that, because a lot of people, a lot of good athletes get that mentality. I'm gonna play whether I, make an A or a C or a B. It doesn't matter. But how important is it for the athletes that may be watching today that they really don't need that mentality? They need to still keep the studies up and continue promoting the game as well. Again, what can you say to those athletes? Say, man, don't go that route.
The best advice a head coach gave me, I went on a recruiting visit at UVA, And the best advice he said to me was, it doesn't matter how good of an athlete you are, because we're always going to out-recruit you.
Right.
So if you're not maintaining what you need to do in the classroom, then you're going to get out-recruited, and then what are you going to fall back on?
Right.
You know, so you can't really just bank everything on your athletic ability, because injuries happen all the time, and like I said, that's their job, to out-recruit you.
Right.
So if you're not doing what you need to do outside of football or whatever sport you're playing, then there's no longevity in any sport, honestly.
It is.
But if you maintain your grades, get your degree, then you're always going to be able to make some money.
Right. That's a good answer. Good answer. Look, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to come back and we're going to keep on talking about this career and some things that this guy's already accomplished. That's truly amazing. So stay tuned. We're going to be right back here to BTW21.
We've been here for 25 years now, and we built a building that was bigger than what we needed when we first started. We've just about filled that place now. One of the things that we really do is we value our employees. We know it takes a long time for them to learn the skills, but people's skills are hard earned, so we make sure that there is a job for them every day of the week, 52 weeks of the year. So even if we're quiet and we don't need people, a lot of businesses still lay people off, send people home. We don't do that. If you want to come to work, we will find you a job, because we value the skills that you've learned with us, and we want you to stay here, and we want you to feel valued, and we want you as a family to go home and say, I'm always going to get a paycheck if I turn up to work for Drake.
Hey, my name is Joyce Renee Watkins, and the reason why I chose chiropractic was because I was having some issues with myself, and chiropractic really, really works. New clients to come in, we are running a special right now where you can actually come into the office and have an exam and 7 different types of x-rays for $49. And then we will get you back in the next day, and we will actually treat you, and we can let you in what your insurance covers. Now you're getting 7 x-rays and an exam, and the x-ray machine here is top of the line, and Dr. Zentmeyer is really good. He can really read some x-rays. So I encourage everyone to come. We're located in Collinsville. Our address is 3652 Virginia Avenue, Collinsville, Virginia. We're across from Fenders and beside Walgreens.
Dan, thanks for staying with us again. Devontae Jordan is joining us here in studio. You know, Devontae, you said something, you know, we were kind of discussing grades and the mentality of I'm a good athlete. And I would say that's going to play a big role as well, if, you know, when these guys, and even yourself, you know, you're still on that list to get into professional sports and begin to get that check and think, oh, you know, but you said something, keyword, injuries. Tell me a little bit about your career. Have you had any major injuries, or have you been successful to kind of dodge injuries?
Fortunately, I've been pretty successful. I've had little nicks here and there.
Right. Well, that kind of comes with the game.
Yeah, but I've never had any major injuries, surprisingly, averaging 30 carries a game.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, it was rough. It was definitely a beating. But
it's almost incredible.
But I felt up pretty good. I take care of my body, so it definitely helps out.
Well, you know, you said something about your cousins or nephews. One, you know, they're making you tough. And what makes you tougher than carrying the ball 30 times a game?
Exactly.
I mean, does it get to the point where those 10 guys get off of you? You're like, God, I'm glad they left. You know, I can't breathe here.
It's getting hit every single play. Definitely a running back.
Yeah.
So it was definitely rough.
Now, high school, you done a lot of offense.
Yes, sir.
And defense. I'm sure you played both sides. Most guys like yourself do. So kind of tell me about, you know, walking through your high school career, you know, when you begin to realize you're a good athlete. You begin to realize, man, people are probably watching me play. And obviously they did. You ended up with a scholarship, and you went to Emory and Henry. Kind of walk me through that process. Did you kind of have your mind, I'm going to go to college, or you're like, I just need to get out of high school? What was your thought pattern?
Honestly, around junior year, that's when I started to really love football. And
A game you didn't ever want to play, you started loving.
Yes, sir.
Is it funny how things change?
It's crazy. But and I was hoping to go D1, of course, like all athletes, but I wasn't really recruited heavy, and it didn't help. You know, I got moved to quarterback too, so 5'7", 130 quarterback. You know, the odds were kind of against me. And then so then I walked on to UVA Wise my freshman year. I stayed there for maybe a year and a half. Then I transferred out and went to Canada, to St. Mary's University. And I hung out there for a couple months, came back, and then Emory offered me this sweet deal. So I went there, sat out a year, and then played the COVID year, the spring, and we had 4 games. And I think I had like maybe 200 or 300 total yards. And then the very next season, I ended up being the #1 running back in the nation.
Which is incredible.
Yeah.
I got to go back. You said Canada.
Yes, sir.
That's a long way from home. Kind of explain to me, you know, what toll that took on you to move to Canada. Now is this college ball or
College?
It's
Yes, sir.
college ball. So you're still in college, getting your degrees. Which again, I love this part. To see the importance, he kept moving in his education while doing a game he fell in love with finally.
Yes, sir, finally.
Kind of walk me through that. That's a long ways from home. Well, I almost want to back up to say you walked on.
Yes, sir.
Dude, that takes some tenacity to walk on and say, man, guess what, boys? I'm coming whether you wanted me or not.
Yes, sir.
Kind of walk me through those two situations in your life. Had to be kind of I don't know. I don't want to say stressful, but different.
Yeah, it was definitely a humbling experience because all athletes think they're better than what they really are, and as any athlete.
Yeah, that's true.
I always thought I was like, I should have been this top 200 recruit, whatever. And so when I went to UVA Wise, you know, it was real humbling to see other athletes that are just as good as me, if not better. So it honestly made me better. And when I got to UVA Wise, we like rotated 6 running backs, so we averaged 2 carries like per game. So it wasn't a way for anyone to really get any shine. So I kind of took it upon myself to put myself in a better situation, and that was to transfer. And then my uncle Devon Claybrooks, which is another Bassett High School graduate, he was a head coach for the BC Lions at the time. And it was his idea, and one of his colleagues were a head coach at St. Mary's. And they reached out to me, and we got it set up to where, you know, and it was coming from D2 to D1, so I had to sit out a year.
Right.
So
Now, is that kind of standard protocol?
yes, sir.
To sit out a year?
Yeah, when
I'm
you
not
go
too
up,
familiar with that.
when you go up a level of competition, you always have to sit out or enter conference.
Okay.
Yes, sir. So went there and sat out, worked out and practiced with the team, and I decided to come home for a few to make some money and then go back. But Emory kind of offered me a great deal and gave me whatever I wanted. So I went there.
So wait a minute, you went from a walk-on with nothing to a college giving you whatever you wanted.
Yes, sir.
Now,
Yes, sir.
that's night and day. So at that point, did you like go home and take a deep breath and say, ah. I mean, college, let's just be honest, college is expensive.
Yeah.
Any way you look at it,
Really
college is expensive. I mean, you can spend 30 to 60 grand a year just
Easy.
like that.
Easy.
So now you're building some college debt. You got to be careful, and
Yes, sir.
you got a lot in your mind right there. So, what happens when you get that call and hey man, what do you want to come here?
And
Mercedes?
it wasn't that sweet of a deal.
It wasn't that sweet a deal.
Yes, sir. But they definitely helped me out, and they looked out for me in all 2 years I was there. Shout out to Coach Newsom, Kurt Newsom. He always made sure I had babysitters, make sure I would be able to make it to practice and
Wow.
classes or.
Yeah, I forgot you just said you had a son.
Yes, sir. 1 year old. He'll be 2 in June.
So, coach, that coach wants you.
Yes, sir.
So, I haven't even put that in the mix that you're a dad now. So, man, I got to back up again, Devontae. Now you got a son. You're going to babysitters, running to school, running to practice.
Yes, sir.
Dude,
It was rough.
how did you hustle? How did you juggle all that?
I watched my mom do it, so.
Well, that's true. You did.
She's a fighter. She always made things happen for herself. Made things happen for our family. So it was already instilled in me that you gotta make it happen regardless of the situation.
Right.
So it wasn't. I mean, it was definitely tough.
Sure.
But I made it happen. I'm still making it happen.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So when they make that call and you answer that call and it's Emory and Henry saying, man, we want you to play ball. How did that negotiation go? I mean, was that like, I'm coming, or did you kind of revert back to I am a good athlete, let's see what I can get?
Honestly, where I was coming from Canada, I was kind of like doubting myself, honestly, as far as, if I was able to play at the college level. And then Coach Cam reached out to me, and I had did like a questionnaire maybe like a few years before that. And he hit me up one day and was like, hey man, just come for a tour. And I was like, in my mind, I'm like, I'm not going to Emory and Henry. I didn't even know what there was.
Right.
And then I went there, and it was just a beautiful campus, and I just felt the brotherhood, and the coaches there, they're only maybe like 2 or 3 years older than me. So it's kind of more of a friendship type thing. So,
right.
And it was definitely welcoming, and it was genuine. So, and that's what really influenced me to come there. And this was before I had my son.
Right.
So, and they welcomed me with open arms, even though I had to sit out a year, because where I was coming from, Wise to Emory, I had to sit out. And but they always made sure I was working out, had my meal plans, make sure my classes were set up. So even though I couldn't be at practice, they still made sure I was getting everything together for the following season.
So a lot went into play to get you there.
A lot.
Those guys wanted you there, didn't they?
Yes, sir.
So that's got to make you feel pretty good that they're willing to spend that kind of time and effort and obviously money to some aspects to recruit you. But again, how difficult was it living in Canada when you got mom, your brothers, you're a Bassett boy? I mean, like myself, was there a culture shock or, or was you just so busy it didn't matter? Was your son with you in Canada?
No, this was before.
That was before. Okay, that was before. Okay.
It was definitely a culture shock. It was just so many. It was so diverse.
They say them Canadians are pretty big boys over there.
Yeah, that's the big boys. That's the big boys. But it was definitely a fun experience, and luckily that experience everyone was welcoming too. So it wasn't hard to adjust. And I think I was there for maybe 4 months, so I wasn't there too long. But it was definitely a great experience, and I loved Canada.
You loved it?
I would love to live there.
Really?
Yes, sir.
A Bassett boy in Canada.
But yeah, I don't like the country life, so I don't really like
You know,
gas.
you're like, okay, that makes sense then. That makes sense. Look, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we're going to come back. We're going to keep talking to Devontae. Again, we ain't even touched some of these records that I got over here. It's quite amazing. So stay tuned. We're going to be right back.
Hi, Barry Nelson here at GR Chevrolet in Stanleytown. We've got trucks. Truck Central, 2016 Silverado Z71, only 50,000 miles. This baby's loaded. It's even lifted, big wheels and tires, for $4.99 a month with 0 down. Got a 2014 F-150 four-wheel drive lifted truck with a 5.0 engine for $3.99 a month. 2016 Colorado LT loaded, only $3.99 a month. This baby's four-wheel drive and it's pretty red. Got a 2018 Dodge 3500 Cummins diesel. Hear that thing purr. You can pull your trailers, do anything in this baby. Come see us at GR Chevrolet where we've got trucks. Come see us where everybody knows cars cost less. Come on down to Autos by Nelson. We've got new cars arriving daily.
We've been here for 25 years now, and we built a building that was bigger than what we needed when we first started. We've just about filled that place now. One of the things that we really do is we value our employees. We know it takes a long time for them to learn the skills, but people's skills are hard earned, so we make sure that there is a job for them every day of the week, 52 weeks of the year. So even if we're quiet and we don't need people, a lot of businesses still lay people off, send people home. We don't do that. If you want to come to work, we will find you a job because we value the skills that you've learned with us, and we want you to stay here and we want you to feel valued. And we want you as a family to go home and think, I'm always going to get a paycheck if I turn up to work for Drake.
Hi, my name is Dr. Caper Zentmeyer here at Zentmeyer Chiropractic. It's our goal to create wellness in all areas of life. Here at Zentmeyer Chiropractic, we are a neurologically based, state-of-the-art facility in the beautiful Martinsville-Henry County area. With our technique and our technology, we're able to get down to the root cause of any health concerns you may have and then correct them from inside out. We'd love for you to come by and check us out. We take care of personal injuries, car accidents, pregnant women, babies, and people of all ages. We love serving families through the principle of chiropractic care. So come on down to Zentmeyer Chiropractic where we can help you remain in health as a lifestyle for a lifetime. So please come see us here at Zentmeyer Chiropractic. We are located here on the corner of Kings Mountain Road and Virginia Avenue. Our address is 3652 Virginia Avenue in Collinsville, Virginia, and our phone number is 276-647-5555.
Thanks for staying with us. Devontae, we were talking a little bit about Canada and you getting the call and coming back home. A little culture shock, but hey, you said you like it. That's pretty cool.
Yes, sir.
So now you come back home for a while, and then you are packing your bags again to go back to college. Kind of walk me through going back to Emory and Henry and kind of settling in. And what'd you say? Is it called like redshirt year where you sit that 1 year, or how does that work? Kind of explain that to me.
So this wasn't really a red shirt. It was more like an academic thing, just from coming from a different institution.
Okay.
And something just didn't transfer just because of liberal arts credits.
Right.
And it caused me to sit out, and a lot of credits didn't transfer. So
that's frustrating.
Yeah, it was definitely frustrating.
It got to be, yeah. I mean, you're talking about an athlete not able to play. How frustrating is that when you see a guy obviously running the ball or passing the ball, whatever, and you're better than him?
I wouldn't really say better.
Well, I'll say it for you. Like you said, all athletes think they're better anyway.
Yes, sir.
So you got an opportunity to be a starter, but you're sitting on the bench because you don't have a dang option.
Yeah, it was rough. But again, it was humbling. You
Sure.
know, I had to keep grinding, keep working. And fortunately, even when I was sitting out, I got to put on an extra 10 pounds.
Beefed up a little.
Yes, sir. So when I came back, I was bigger and stronger. But then when I came during COVID year, I was actually third string.
Wow. That was humbling, wasn't it? That really changed your mind.
It just pissed me off, honestly.
I can see that.
But
it should have.
And it caused me to play with a chip on my shoulder, though. So every chance I got to play, I made sure I made that play. And then after the COVID season, the second string running back, TJ Tester, they moved him to safety. And then Grayson Overstreet, unfortunately, had a foot injury. So I had to take that number one spot. And
so things worked out and put you right in the chute.
yes, sir. And I really figured out the true definition of is the next man up mentality.
Right.
Because you never know when your number's going to be called.
Right. And it's the same way with injuries. You just never know.
Yes, sir.
Well, let's look at, this is going to be amazing. Your second year, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Your second year, I don't even know how many records you broke here. I got a whole sheet of records you broke.
9.
How many?
9 total.
Oh, see, he knows 9. 9 total records you broke. I mean, we're looking at single season rushing touchdowns, 20 TDs by Wade in 1967, 54-year record. You broke it by 5 touchdowns last year. Now, when you begin to see you're having that kind of a season, what is going through your mind? I mean, that reminds me of something I would say back in the day John Riggins or Emmitt Smith would be pulling off.
Honestly, I didn't really get too caught up in the stats.
Did you keep up with them at all?
Never.
You just playing ball?
No, I just
Playing the game you love.
ball. And only way I would know my stats is obviously on I go on the Go Wasp website, or my grandma or family would call and tell me, but I just never want to get too caught up in it because, I always watched this Alvin Kamara documentary, and he never looked at his stats ever.
Right.
And it honestly makes you play better because, you see those type of numbers, you feel like, okay, well, I can slack off a little bit. I'm already breaking all these records. But without me knowing those records or how many yards I had in the game or how many touchdowns, I always wanted that one more yard, that one more touchdown. And then at the end, it just kind of added up.
Kinda? Well, let's look at a couple more here. Single season touchdown. That's the one I just said. No, you broke 2 of Wade's. He's not going to like you. You broke three records from Wade in 1967. One being single season scores, which he had 141. You had 156 points last year. And then on top of that, we see single seasons, which are touchdowns. You had 26 touchdowns last year.
Yes, sir.
He had 20. Yeah, this Wade, you better be glad this Wade guy's a little older. He's going to be hunting you down. But again, that's what this game is all about, though. To be able to set another standard. And again, how do you feel about when you look at now the success you had in your last year of college before you move on, to say this was a great caliber an athlete, but with hard work and training, you can get even more. I don't want to say a more better, because the times, that was a great athlete. But now that the seasons have changed, genetics has changed, training has changed, supplements has changed, workouts have changed. How does that make you feel that there's now, you've got that post, that record to break?
I always feel like it was deserving, just because I've always worked hard, but everything I do is always behind the scenes. So I always knew it was going to come. I just had to make sure I stayed grounded. And once everything added up, all the stats and all the records, I honestly didn't get too caught up in it, just because I knew I deserved it. I knew I've always worked towards that.
And we look right here. This is a big one, man. One of these records was 94 years, and then somebody tied it 59 years later. Single game touchdowns. The record was 5. That's been tied once, but you had 6. So in 2021, you annihilated that by 1 touchdown, but that's 94 years of records.
And I had those touchdowns in the first half.
They did write that on here. So what did you do the second half? Sit the bench, let somebody else play?
Yeah, they took me out like the last few seconds of the second quarter. So the whole third and fourth, I didn't even play.
Just let some other guys enjoy the game.
Yes, sir.
Now I've got to say this. Unfortunately, all my high school basketball career, that's kind of how I got to play ball. I ain't gonna lie to you. When we were up by 15, you go in and play some. If you were down, you didn't play much. I just wasn't that good in basketball. I just always happy I made the team. I tell this to everybody, Devontae, my goal for basketball was make the team. Because I'm short, I was short. So how did that make you feel to say, man, you giving your teammates, second, third string, an opportunity to handle the ball? They're pumped up, they're getting some yardage, they're getting some playing time. How's that make you feel?
It definitely makes me feel good, seeing the younger guys, get some shine. And two of the running backs, they scored. So,
did they?
And I was more excited for them scoring than me scoring, honestly. And just the ultimate goal, honestly, was just really to get these records and the stats from my O-line. They were super excited for it. And I honestly didn't even have a set goal. The O-line had a set goal. So I feel like I owed it to them to get those records, to get those stats.
And you got to say, when you're doing these records, you have as they used to say back with the Steelers, the Iron Curtain, so to speak. You had a pretty good group of guys making a hole for you and pushing your way.
Yes, sir.
How important is those guys?
Oh, that's a team. Without them, there's no team. And those guys definitely did a good job. And Coach Welly, he had a good blocking scheme for them and made it easy for them, and also made it easy for me. So we always had this relationship that regardless of what happens, they mess up, I'm always make them right, and vice versa. Right.
So, again, all these records, I think one that kind of blew me away was your yards per season. 1981, 1,981 yards in one season. That record was broken and was held for 53 years. So you're averaging 100 to 200 average per ball game. Mm-hmm. That's pretty tough to average.
Yes, sir.
So at that point, Devontae, the game that you used to didn't want to play, now he fell in love with. Is it just this is what we do now?
Yeah, pretty much. Just got to get it done regardless.
So when you get the ball, you just know I got to get this. I got to get it across that line.
Oh yeah, because I know they were trying to take my head off, so I had to make sure they felt me before I felt them.
When you begin? Well, again, you said you didn't stat keep, but you obviously knew I'm scoring touchdowns.
Yes, sir.
I'm getting yards. There's an X on my back. Did you ever feel like they're looking for me? They want to get me out of here.
Yeah, every team knew that I was pretty much the number one guy on offense. As far as the plays and how many carries I got. So it would be like 8, 9 in the box, and we would still run the ball. So I already knew it was going to happen. So I always had this mentality I know they're going to hit me, so I got to make sure they feel it.
So, I mean, you knew if it was one person on the team they wanted on the sideline, it was you.
Definitely.
I mean, you ever, in your year, especially in the year 2021, last year, was there ever some late hits, some guys frustrated with you, and you got some cheap shots, so to speak?
Oh, yeah, I got a lot of those.
Did you?
A lot.
Kind of walk me through them. How you feel when you get that cheap shot, man? And, I mean, you're already down or whatever the situation may be.
Really, I was cool about it, but Coach Newsom, he definitely made sure the refs knew about it. But I never got any of those calls. I never got a late hit. I think I got one late hit call, but there's been a few I got hit late in the end zone after I scored or on the sideline, and I would never get those calls. But I knew, that kind of comes with you being a top guy, so it was okay. I knew they had to do cheap shots or get back at me that way. So it was more of a, yeah, that's the only way to get back to me, but I'll see you in the end zone later.
That's a great way of looking at it. Well, you said it, the top dog's got to take a bite every now and then.
Yes, sir.
So, again, being able to look and say, look at the scoreboard. That's what we used to do when people would chatter, look at the scoreboard. That was if you were winning, you could say that. So we're going to take a quick commercial break. We're going to come back. We're going to be wrapping some things up here with Devontae. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
People always ask me what my best deal is. You know what my best deal is? Is a $39.95 oil change, tire rotation, and a free car wash. And everybody remember, I give you free state inspection. Folks, we got tires and a lot of them. We got 0% financing for 90 days on your tire purchase. And if you need repairs done, we can finance it up to 12 months for you and give you 90 days 0% finance on that too. Best part of all, a beautiful free car wash.
We've been here for 25 years now, and we built a building that was bigger than what we needed when we first started. We've just about filled that place now. One of the things that we really do is we value our employees. We know it takes a long time for them to learn the skills, but people's skills are hard-earned, so we make sure that there is a job for them every day of the week, 52 weeks of the year. So even if we're quiet and we don't need people, a lot of businesses still lay people off, send people home. We don't do that. If you want to come to work, we will find you a job because we value the skills that you've learned with us, and we want you to stay here, and we want you to feel valued. And we want you as a family to go home and think, I'm always going to get a paycheck if I turn up to work for Drake.
Hey, my name is Joyce Renee Watkins, and the reason why I chose chiropractic was because I was having some issues with myself, and chiropractic really, really works. New clients to come in, we are running a special right now where you can actually come into the office and have an exam and 7 different types of x-rays for $49. And then we will get you back in the next day and we will actually treat you, and we can let you then what your insurance covers. Now you're getting 7 x-rays and an exam, and the x-ray machine here is top of the line, and Dr. Zentmeyer is really good. He can really read some x-rays. So I encourage everyone to come. We're located in Collinsville. Our address is 3652 Virginia Avenue, Collinsville, Virginia. We're across from Fenders and beside Walgreens.
Again, thanks for staying with us. Devontae, in wrapping up our show, again, nine records broken. And again, we could just keep talking about these. But you had 285 rushing yards in one game?
Yes, sir.
Did anybody else have any yards? Did you get them all?
Pretty much.
Wow.
And it was against the number one team, Randolph-Macon.
Did that coach come over and say, hey, man, you ever thought about coming to this side?
Yeah, every coach after every game.
Coach.
Yes, sir.
Did any of them ever pitch you anything? Or it was just more like, hey, buddy, we've got a spot for you?
It was more so that they're just throwing an idea out there for me to think about, but they never really tried to actually recruit me.
Right.
You know.
It was just, if you want to make the call.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of left it up to you.
Yes, sir.
Did you ever think about making the call?
No, not once.
You was happy?
Yes, I was happy.
Well, you kind of talked about these guys, they're helping you with your meal plans, helping you with your son, and keeping you on track. So, it's kind of hard to just run away from.
Yeah, it's definitely hard. I definitely couldn't bite the hand that fed me. They definitely looked out and provided for me, make sure I had everything I needed. So it would have been a spit in the face for me to think about even transferring.
Absolutely. Now, let's talk about this bad boy right here. Tell me about this right here, Devontae.
This is the Lanier Award. I got the best small college athlete in the state of Virginia.
Best small college athlete.
Yes, sir.
That's pretty cool. Well, walk me through, is this award that they just decided you broke all these records, we're going to start a new award? Or has it already been out there?
It's always been an award.
It's already been out there, okay.
And I was, top three was me, receiver from Bluefield College, and then it was another running back from Washington and Lee, which we played against each other. And fortunately for me, they selected me for Player of the Year.
Wow.
Yes,
So
sir.
kind of walk me through getting this award and your excitement after you look at these stats and realize, I don't know why I didn't love this game all the time.
Honestly, I was shocked because I never knew anything about the Lanier Award.
Right.
And then I was at home with my grandma hanging out, and Coach Newsom gives me a call and says, hey, this reporter guy's about to call you about the Lanier Award. So I'm like, what the heck is a Lanier Award? And
You didn't know what it was.
at all, I never
Now
knew
you
what
got
it
a
was.
reporter calling you.
Yeah. So the guy calls me and he's asking me about stats and pretty much my time at Emory. And so then later on I looked it up. So I'm like, oh, so like that's Player of the Year. That's a big thing. And we kind of kept on track with that. And the coaches kind of shot me out and sent out my stats and pictures and stuff like that. And around 3 weeks later, they give me another call and says, hey, you got the Player of the Year.
That's awesome.
Yes, sir.
I mean, that's got to be one heck of a feeling and an accomplishment.
Yes, sir.
And you got your brothers still looking, man, look at this guy. I mean, how has that affected your career so far? You're just in college.
Yes, sir.
You're still a college guy. Really no career. You're just in college. How's that affected your brothers seeing Big Brother do so well?
It definitely affected them pretty good because it made my middle brother, Dominique Gill, he had left Ferrum his freshman year and started working and stuff. And then once he seen my success on the field, it made him go back to school. So now he's back enrolled at Ferrum, playing football, going to school. And then my younger brother, he's in the recruiting process. He has maybe 7 schools interested in him, so he's trying to decide which school he wanted to go to. And then my other brother, Demetrius, he definitely follows me. He definitely supports me. Whenever I need help, he looks out for me, and he actually works at Walmart.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So tell me about the plaque over here. You don't have to see what the plaque says. What's this one?
So this plaque, one of the guys' dad made this for me, and it's my picture and all the stats that I had. And I didn't even know they had this. I knew about the trophy, but I didn't know how big it was. And then they pulled this out. I was like, yeah, we made this for you. So my grandma has this up on the wall in our living room.
And that's just basically some of the stats we've been talking about, but that's all of them.
Yes, sir. That's all of them.
That is a great accomplishment, and that's an honor to hang that on the wall.
Yes, sir.
That ought to, you ever seen some of the players? They got different things they do when they walk by and they kiss something or touch it. You might ought to kiss that as you walk by it every time.
Yeah, I make sure I clean it every day.
You clean it good. So let's roll into now. You've kind of got your college behind you, and I know we've talked a lot about his college because he had a lot to talk about. You're fixing to roll into now a paid career, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, sir.
And let's talk about where you're headed Friday and kind of the changes you're looking at now.
After the season, I declared for the draft, and we were kind of trying to shop me out to CFL and NFL, and we were waiting to set up a pro day and that stuff like that. And then I made a Euro Players account and just put my stats, film, and stuff on there. And I started getting a lot of teams contact me on there, a lot of Euro teams. And we kind of wanted to wait it out for my pro day, but I know how the process goes, and I was kind of scared that there was a possibility of me not getting a pro day or getting any interest from the NFL, CFL, just because of the competition that I played against.
Right.
So decided to sign with the Vienna Vikings in Vienna, Austria, and I leave Friday. And it's definitely an exciting process. This is my way to market myself better and be able to show, that I can play against better competition.
Right. Now let's signing bonuses. Anything like that for signing with the Vikings?
Well, just a set contract, base salary, incentive pay, stuff like that.
Now, how did you feel the game you used to didn't want to play to the game you now love, which I guess you broke about every record it was to break, to the day now you get a paycheck to play ball?
It's definitely a surreal feeling because it's always a blessing to get paid to do the things that you love.
Absolutely. Well, you never work a day in your life.
Exactly. I get up every day and going to work and enjoying it. It's not really work. It's
eating right, training,
exactly,
throwing the ball, catching the ball, running.
And I'm getting paid to do it, to have fun. So it definitely beats waking up, working in the factory 9 to 5.
Absolutely. Well, I got to say, I'm not against factory workers.
Oh, no, not at all.
You got the education to be a manager, supervisor, or,
Yes, sir.
or a CEO, which, again, back to what we were saying earlier, the importance of getting your education, even though you're an athlete. Again, you may never have to fall back on it, but you got it in your back pocket.
Yes, sir.
So, all right, you're getting ready to go 20 hours away?
4,000 miles away.
4,000 miles away.
Yes, sir.
And you've never been there. You've never even tested the waters. I'm assuming all these contracts was done telephone, Skype, whatever.
Yes, sir.
Email. So, tell me your thoughts, man. You're just days away from. Unfortunately, you got to leave your son. You're leaving your son and your brothers, your grandma, your girlfriend. Man, what's going through your mind?
It's definitely going to be tough, leaving the family and definitely my son. But, it's something I have to do. It's to provide a better life for me and my family and definitely my son. So they're definitely understanding. I got a strong support system, and Kingston's mom, she's definitely supportive. She's helping me out. And so everyone pretty much knows their place and waiting on me to come back home.
So what do you think your first stretch in Vienna is going to be before you get homesick and you got to get back to, this country life in Bassett and Henry County?
I'm not opposed to leaving home. I kind of like being away from home, but I'm definitely miss my grandma's cooking. That's going to be the hardest part.
I'm going to tell you, you're probably not going to find it anywhere. Not in Vienna. You might, but it won't be. It'll be close. It won't be the same. It won't be the same. So, again, Friday you pack up and you leave off. Tell me your expectations. Where do you think you are going in Vienna for the first season?
I'm expecting, to have another big season just like I did in Emory. I got a trainer, we've been working speed. I feel bigger, stronger, faster. And also they have high expectations for me too because as a pro athlete for them, they expect me to be this leader, to perform, make sure I perform top, be a top performer. And that's the expectation I have for myself just because, you know, the end goal is CFL, NFL, you know,
Right.
on the top tier level. So, and the only way is to succeed, you know, dominate. And that's what I expect for myself, just to be the best in all of Europe.
And you know what? I think you can do it. And one thing we want to ask him, you know, we don't want him to forget his roots. You know, if he goes NFL or wherever, even where you're at in Vienna, we want you to come back by and see us when you come home.
Yes, sir.
And, you know, maybe someday you'll be sitting across the table with the big Super Bowl ring on, and you'll remember this interview in 2022.
Yes, sir.
And maybe we'll be talking about some NFL stats in the future.
The Super Bowl ring would look good.
It would. It would. It would look really well. I think everybody ought to have one. But again, you know, we want to thank you for coming on the program, and we want to wish you the best of luck in Vienna with this pro venture of football. And I know the end game is the NFL, and we just want to again thank you for coming on the show, and we wish you the best. And hey, we just pray a blessing over you that you can continue to fulfill your dreams of the game you once didn't love. and just, you know, we're excited to have a guy from home to have this kind of opportunity, and it all came from hard work. So we congratulate you on all the hard work, and we're very excited to see you going to Vienna.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Well, we look forward to having you back on, so when you get back in town, and you give us a call, and we'll do another show.
Yes, sir.
All right. Devon, thanks so much, man.
Thank you.
Good luck, and we look forward to seeing you, hey, man, on the big screen someday on ESPN, some of those big shows.
Hopefully.
I believe you will. We want to thank you for tuning in. We're out of time. I hope you've enjoyed the program here. We're excited to see this young man as he ventures off into a pro venture of football. This is so exciting. Again, this is how we do it in Martinsville and Henry County. And we're excited. We got more great kids going to be coming up as well, and we're going to be highlighting them throughout the year here at BTW21 Sports. Stay tuned. There's more great local programming coming up next.
The Henry County Department of Public Safety is currently seeking certified applicants for vacancies and non-certified applicants for their second firefighter and EMT academy. Current certified applicants would not be required to attend the academy. Successful academy graduates will immediately go into the field as a firefighter or EMT with the salary and benefits beginning the first day of the academy. This is a full-time career opportunity with a great organization that has great pay, benefits, and generous paid leave accrual rates. Applications will be taken until all positions are filled, so apply now as these positions will be filled quickly. Visit henrycountyva.gov/jobs and select the firefighter or EMT recruit position.
Hey, sir. Can I help you?
I'm hunting for a good bargain. A friend of mine sent me.
Okay. You want to come out from behind that bush?
Oh, sure. Looking for a gift for my wife's birthday.
Oh, yeah? What does she like?
She likes it when I save money, if you know what I mean.
Sure. Well, this pre-owned Camry has all the bells and whistles for a great price.
Yep, I think this'll do just fine.
Autos by Nelson. Stop by any of our dealerships today or visit us online.
Elite Nurses Staffing Agency, LLC. Delivering an elite care service to our clients. Looking for professional nurses and nurse assistants.